Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Cunha. I'm doing this short video to just go over more detailed directions on what you should be doing for your ELA summer packet. Now keep in mind that these directions are only for students who have ESL classes, okay? So there is a couple of things different that you are doing compared to the other students. So remember, only if you are in ESL classes will you be following these specific directions, okay? So as you know, there's different ways that you can read the novel, and I listed them on Google Classroom, so you can either go on Clever, and there's a link there. You can go on Learning Allied and have the book be read to you. And you can also buy the book yourself on Amazon or any other online websites. And I also posted on Google Classroom another way that you can read the book. It is a link. So if you can't get access to Clever or through Learning Allied, you can read it that way on the computer. Okay, so for you guys, you are going to have 3 activities in your ELA packet. Okay, the activity number 1, so I listed it in numbers so that you don't forget anything. So activity 1 is a writing task. Okay, so you're going to be writing a letter. You're only picking one of the 2 writing tasks. Okay, so you're only writing 1 letter. There's 2 options. You have to pick just one. So pick the one you feel most comfortable with. Okay, now I'm going to show you in a second. Activity 2 is a Google Slides presentation. So you're going to create a guidebook. Okay, I'm going to go over that as well. And then activity number 3 is the reading log. Now the reading log, some of you already started updating it. You should update it weekly based on what you are reading every week. Okay, so let me show you on Google Classroom where this is all located. So I'm going to go to 309's Google Classroom. This is what it's going to look like. I'm going to show you a trick. If you click up here on classwork, this is where all of your assignments are going to be. You're not going to see all of these. You're just going to see the ones that say ESL students, okay? But notice how Ms. Cunha created like a file. So this is all of the ELA summer packets. So I'm going to go over the summer reading log first, okay? When you click on it, the directions are here, and then you are able to open up the document. So this is the summer reading log. You're going to put your name, your homeroom, and then you're going to fill in every week what you're reading, okay, throughout the summer. And then up here, you're going to, on your screen, it's going to say turn in. You're only going to turn this in before September 8th, okay? So anytime after September 6th and before September 8th. So every week you're going to update this. Look at the example that I already did for you. So let's say I had whatever the week was. I included the title of the book, the author, and then what pages I read. So I read from page 30 to 103 for this week, okay? This started July 6th, so make sure that if you did not update it up on July 6th to July 12th, make sure that you do that. Make sure you go back and update it, okay? You should update it every week. So all these weeks, you should have what book you read, and it's okay if you read the same book for several weeks, that's okay. The author, and then what pages you read for that entire week, okay? So that is the reading log. Now let's go back and look at, I'm just going to take it out of there. Okay, so ESL students. So this is your first activity about the letter, right? So this is what you're going to see. So there's option 1. That's this box. And then on the second page is option 2. You get to pick which one you want to do. You could either do just this one, or you could do just this one. Let's say that I want to do option 2 only. Well, then I'm going to highlight this and delete it. Okay, click delete. So I just have the one that I'm doing. Okay, let me go back. Take it out. Okay, let's say I want to do option 1, then I'm going to delete this one. Okay, so you pick which one you're doing. Both of them are a writing task. So if you pick option 1, first there's some links that I want you to go on to learn about NASA, okay? So learn about what it is, what the space program is all about. You could click on this and then it takes you to the websites, okay? So learn about what it is first, and then here it says, write an inspirational letter to Mimi to encourage her to pursue her dreams of becoming an astronaut. So you're going to write a letter, okay, to Mimi. That's the person you're writing the letter to. And you're trying to inspire her to become an astronaut, okay? Option 2, it says, make sure you read this as well, but the directions is write an informational letter to your principal suggesting or proposing a new class or activity for your school. So if you pick this one, you're going to write, Dear Mrs. Richardson, right? And you're going to tell her what is a new class or a new activity that your school should have and why, of course, okay? So whichever one you pick, you are writing a letter, okay? So let's go over the 5 things that you need to have in order to write a letter. So number 1, you need the date. Notice the date is on the right side, right, of the page. So you're going to write, let's say you did this on July 11th. You're going to write July 11th, 2020. Or you could just write September 8th, 2020. That's fine too. Then you have the greeting, which is Dear blank. Okay, so whoever it is that you're writing to. And then you have your body, right? This is your letter. That's part number 3. So it should be at least 1 paragraph, okay? Can you write more than 1 paragraph? Absolutely, you can, but it shouldn't just be 1 or 2 sentences, okay? Write a paragraph, explain why you're writing in this letter in the first place, give lots of details, right? If you're inspiring Mimi, then give her inspirations, right? Why should she become an astronaut? Why should she follow her dreams, okay? Then number 4, you have your closing. Your friend, comma, or sincerely, comma. Notice there's a comma here and there's a comma there, right? Make sure you don't skip that. And then the last step is your signature, so your name, okay? So let me go back to this. Let's say that I want to include the date. If I go up here, the date is on the top right corner, so I'm going to do that. September 8, 2020. Then I'm going to go back to the side, right? Dear blank, whoever it is, comma, right? And now I start my letter. I have to indent. Usually when we indent, we hit the tab, right? But look what happens here. It starts a new line. I don't want that. So let me go back. Because we're writing inside of a box, because you're going to write your letter in the blue box, you're just going to hit the space bar about 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, to indent. Blah, 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 whatever it is that I'm writing. Then I'm going to remember that we have the closing and the signature is also on the right side. So I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to go back to the right, your friend, comma, and then the next line is my signature, Mrs. Cunha. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can highlight this and change the font to a cursive font. Make it a little bigger to see it. Okay, so that's going to be your letter. Okay, it's going to be 1 to as many paragraphs as you want, but it should be more than 1 paragraph. Okay, I'm going to delete this just so it's not on your paper when you see it. So that is the that's your first activity, right? You're picking 1 to write. Activity 2 is the Google Slides. So let me go back to the document. So your Google Slides is activity 2. So this is the one that you're going to see. When you click on it, it's going to open up a Google Slides. So you're going to notice that our book takes place in the 1960s. So basically what you're doing is you're creating a guidebook about the 1960s. So you're going to come up with a title. You're going to add your name and homeroom. The directions are here. Okay, it talks about what the 1960s is all about, what you need to do for that. There's a link here. If you click on it, it's going to take you to a website that talks all about the 1960s, okay? And then the directions are here. Slide 4 is an example. So in the 1960s, this is the type of hairstyle that they used to use, right? So notice there's pictures, right? And then there's a caption. The caption just explains what the picture is all about. That's what you're doing, okay? So you're going to get that information on this website right here on slide number 2. But the next slides are empty. This is what you're going to do. So you're going to look up what are some 1960s cars, 1960s fashion, so what they wore, 1960s magazines, so what kind of magazines did they read, right? What was popular during the 1960s? Then food, what kind of food they ate, cartoons and comics that were popular during this time, civil rights, any other facts about the 1960s you can include there. And then you get to pick 2 options, okay? 2 other topics that you want. Then there's a question. This question says, what do you notice about the 1960s compared to present time? So what's different and what's the same? So you're going to answer here. You can put it in bullets. But even though you're writing in bullets, you should still write in complete sentences, okay? And then the last slide is this one. Another question. Oh, sorry, right here. What did you find most interesting about the 1960s? So you can also write it in bullets. What did you find the most interesting? Okay, so that's it, boys and girls. That is your assignment. So you're doing it 3 activities, right? Activity 1 is to pick one of the writing. Activity 2 is the Google Slides. And then activity 3 is the reading log that you should update every week during the summer. Okay, boys and girls, so I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, just message me on Google Classroom and I will try to answer you as soon as possible. Thank you.